Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is well today. Firstly, a huge thank you for joining us. And I'm not sure if I'm still allowed to say it, but I'm going to anyway. So Happy New Year. I generally say that up until the end of January. Thank you for joining our session today. We're going to cover how apprentices can support you in changing the direction of your career. So whether you are coming back to work after a period of time off, or whether you are looking at doing something different, we're confident that this is going to be the webinar series or the webinar session for you to join today. Just a quick introduction from myself, and then I'll hand you over to my co-host for this session, Shri. My name is Liz Kingston. I'm the apprenticeship lead from a attraction, selection and recruitment perspective for Amazon. We're aiming for this session to be really interactive. If you've got questions as we go along, Shri and I will try and pick a few of the easier ones up as we go through. If they're a little bit more difficult, we're going to keep them to the end, if that's okay. We're also cognizant that Shri and I don't have all of the answers because we're not an apprentice. So you'll hear from some of our apprentices as well and have an opportunity to ask them some questions too. If there are any sort of insights or feedbacks on the topics that we talk about, again, please pop those in the chat box as well. Over to you, Shri. Oh, I can't hear you, Shri.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Apologies. So, hello everyone. I'm Shri. I'm the Senior Program Manager in the apprenticeship team at Amazon. So, once the apprentices are recruited, the program managers then help support them until they graduate and go into a role. So, I currently look after all the non-tech apprenticeships. So, I will be talking to you about what options there are and how we can help you. So with us, Liz and myself, we also have a panel of apprentices who are going to answer your questions. So they are Cecilia Booth, Lee Pat, and Nicola Greenop. Do you want to come on camera, guys, and just introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Cecilia. I'm a data analyst apprentice based in the London head office. Before I started at Amazon, I was at sixth form studying my A-levels. Then I had kind of a moment of, oh my God, what do I want to do with my career? What are my next steps forward? And then I started looking at universities and I found Amazon Apprenticeships. I chose it because it's a great career, like steps for your career and learning different things about the workplace.
Over to you, Lee.
Yep, cool, thanks. So I'm Lee, Project Management Apprentice here at Amazon. I've been here for 2 years. I've actually just completed my apprenticeship, and prior to doing this, I was a physiotherapist in the NHS and privately for over a decade. And I'd done a few other jobs before that, but I was in a career that I liked but didn't love, and wasn't completely enamored with the career prospects going forward. The apprenticeship at Amazon though was an incredible opportunity really to retrade in a new career without taking too many sacrifices, which I'm happy to talk about further later.
Hi guys, I'm Nicola. I was also in the NHS before this. I was a biomedical scientist, so spending hours and hours in the lab. It was really unsociable, did sort of 12-hour night shifts, worked about 60 hours a week. The career prospects were sort of getting more and more limited as time went on. It was taking quite a while for me to progress. And I just wanted to see my family, do something that felt like I was helping people. So I went on to the HR apprenticeship with Amazon. Been doing it for about 6 months now, and I've not looked back. It's been one of the best things I could have done, to be honest.
Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. I should just say as well, apologies. We actually have a lady called Ali who is with us today, who is going to be doing some closed captioning. Ali, do you mind just putting the link again in the sticky message box at the top right hand side, because it seems to have disappeared for some reason. But if anybody needs closed captioning for any reason, if once the sticky message goes into the top right hand box, so right at the top of the chat box on the right hand side of your screen, just under your sort of toolbar, there will be a link. If you access the link, then you will be able to see closed captioning for this session as well, just to let everybody know. Ali, I hope that's okay. Watch out for it, it should appear shortly. Okay, so just moving on to what we're going to cover today. We hope that we've got lots of great information for you. We're going to cover programme-specific questions, as well as outlining why Amazon is a great place to be an apprentice. So we're going to talk a bit about Amazon, why we have a really supportive programme as a career change aura breaker. We're also going to go through our leadership principles, which is a really sort of foundational part of Amazon as a business. We're going to talk you through the programs that we're going to be delivering, and we're sort of sectioning those into degree programs and then advanced learning programs. I think different ones will appeal to different people based on where they are in their career. Brilliant. The sticky messages there for the closed captioning. Thanks, Ali. We're then going to move on to how we hire into the programs, so what the recruitment process will be, when the applications will open, and then we're going to hear, as Shri has just said, from some of our brilliant apprentices from a Q&A perspective. So when I was sort of thinking about joining Amazon, obviously we're a business that a lot of people have heard of. And I wanted to sort of pose the question, and if you can put the answers in the chat box, that would be absolutely wonderful. Just in terms of when you hear about Amazon, I don't know if people can tell me a little bit about what they think of. Let's see who's the quickest to type. And clearly the people from Amazon are more welcome to put their own notes in as well. Mantu. I'm in Manchester today, so yeah, that is a site that I drive past on a regular basis on my way to Liverpool. Anybody else? Any sort of initial thoughts when they hear about Amazon? I don't know if my notes are a little bit slow.
Seems to be a lag. There seems to be a lag in the chat.
I think what I'm seeing in the chat is everybody saying that they could hear me.
Exactly.
Slight problem. Yeah. Let's just give it a minute to catch up. Okay. I'm just going to keep going down. Let's give it 1 second more. Is anybody else seeing this chat quicker than me?
No.
Because I'm still saying the yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, that's the one I can see as well.
Okay.
I think, guys, if you look at the top of the chat, it's got the most recent at the top. So people are saying leadership principles, huge company, brilliant people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brilliant. Okay. I thought this was going to fall terribly flat if we were still talking about yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Great. Okay. Innovation, customer obsessed, great opportunity, international business, providing online services. Brilliant. Jeff Bezos. Yeah. A lot of opportunities in a big business. Fantastic. Logistics, thank you. Customer first, we're going to come on to that. Diversity, we're going to come on to that. That's good. AWS, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Okay, space exploration, not had that. That's a good one, thank you. Fantastic. Cloud technology. Brilliant. So a lot of what I get when I say to people around what do you think about when you think about Amazon is, I think people think about sometimes the most visible things, and I think David G, who's put Alexa, I've got a few of those in my house as well. Normally it comes back with the brown boxes and the vans that we sort of see out. We also get a lot of the huge warehouses, because they're a massive sort of milestone in the landscape, and then a lot to do with the automation. I think it's really really visible in our business that we are powered by technology. One of the things that's really exciting for me when we talk about the apprenticeship programme is how diverse we are as a business. And I think some of you have really sort of pulled out some fantastic things here. We essentially are sort of pushed into a number of sectors, and we're really proud that we lead in a number of sectors. And I think when I was sort of thinking about my journey into Amazon, I was thinking about, well, I'm definitely a prime customer because I get my boxes very quickly and I watch the TV. Studios, all of the Lord of the Rings stuff, which has been unbelievable. And then I'm also a Ring customer, an Alexa customer, a Kindle customer, and a music customer. So it was really interesting to me how broad a business Amazon is, and how clear it was in terms of affecting loads of different parts of my life. And I think from an apprenticeship perspective, it's really exciting because we've got schemes that sit across a lot of these Amazon businesses that will give you brilliant opportunities to be a part of teams that are really sort of pioneering the way in terms of Amazon and you know, the journey that we're heading in. So to give you a bit of a break from myself and Shri, we also wanted to share a short video with you just in terms of some of the milestones that we achieved last year in the UK. Career Map, are you okay just playing the snip, please, from the hyperlink? Fantastic. Thank you. If we're okay to go back to the slide deck, brilliant. So some of the things that you might have picked up there in that video is just around the outreach that we have into the communities that we serve, but also, as I mentioned before, how diverse our business is. Some of the areas that we've sort of pioneered in terms of creativity and innovation have been really sort of taken up by broader industry sectors. So we were the first organisation to include customer reviews, which, when you think about it, is absolutely crazy now. I know, certainly from my perspective, it's one of the first things that I look at, both on Amazon and sort of other retailers as well. One-click shopping, personalised recommendations, fulfillment by Amazon. So we don't just courier our own goods, we also courier other people's goods as well. It was mentioned, I think, in the chat around AWS. So Amazon Web Services has really sort of pioneered where we're going as an organisation. Kindle, it was 3 years in development, but it's something that I think has reached readers of all generations, and actually has pushed to the forefront self-publication as well, which has opened up a whole raft of opportunities for authors, and also Fire tablets, Fire TV. When we think about the home automation side of things, we've got Echoes, we've got Alexa, we've got Ring doorbells. We've also pioneered Just Walk Out technology, so a fundamentally different way of shopping, which I know for me, when I first heard about it, sort of leaving a shop and not paying for anything, physically paying for anything, was just a huge revelation. And I mentioned before Amazon Studios, so there's loads of work that's being done there. That I think will have touched all of us. We don't just stream, we actually create content, and we've got some apprenticeships there as well this year. So really, really exciting. And the final bit there was around home automation, just in terms of the new drone that was launched in the US last year. So we've got a Ring Always Home Cam, which is attached to a drone that can fly around your house, which, you know, when I think about sort of the technology I grew up with, is just absolutely staggering, really. So enough about Amazon from an overview perspective. I'm going to hand back to Shri just to talk about the next couple of slides, which essentially is what is an apprenticeship. Thanks, Shri.
Hi. So what is an apprenticeship? In short, the apprenticeship is you learn, or you do a qualification while you are also doing a job, so while you learn. The whole definition and information you can see on the slide. So let's focus on the apprenticeship program and the levels generally on this slide. So we have intermediate level apprenticeships, which is like a level 2 or a GCSE equivalent. Then the next level is the level 3, the advanced level, which is approximately A level bar. Then we have a higher level apprenticeships, which are generally called level 4 and the level 5, like the first year of the degree or the foundation degree and above. And then we have degree apprenticeships, which are level 6 and 7. So level 6 is a bachelor's degree, and level 7 generally is the master's degree. So we offer several apprenticeships on each of these levels, and we are going to talk about some of them. So as you can see on the next slide, so for the 2023 hiring cycle, we have apprenticeships in the categories, as you can see on the screen: the digital and the creative, the sales and the marketing, the operations, which is in the logistics area, engineering, technology, and business. So essentially, if you have the relevant eligibility criteria, which we will talk about further in this webinar today. So if you have relevant eligibility criteria and the ambition, attitude, and the aptitudes we need, there will be a program you could be interested in. So there is something for everyone to get involved in. And then I hand over to Liz.
Thank you. So we're really excited that 2023 sees us celebrating 10 years since our first apprenticeships, and we've come a really, really long way, I think, in terms of giving people opportunities to continue to learn across all of the brilliant sectors that Shree's just mentioned. We've had over 2,683 people now through this programme, and we started off with 3 10 years ago. We are also a key sponsor for National Apprenticeship Week this year, which we're really excited about. Given the fact that you are on this webinar today, tells me that you've seen our series of webinars, which is brilliant. But we also have a number of in-person events that we're going to be running to coincide with the National Apprenticeship Week. So from the 6th to the 10th of February, there will be an opportunity, if you like what you hear and you want to learn more, to come in and meet us at some of our FCs and our head office. So we are holding sessions in Mansfield, London, Swindon, Gateshead and Bolton. And if you would like to join us, there are tickets still available on Eventbrite. So yeah, it will be great to see you, and you can meet some of our team and learn a little bit more. I'm just going to hand back to Shree to talk you through our apprenticeship vision.
So as you can read on the slide, we have a clear vision. We work with a lot of leading training providers and offer technical mentoring. Specialist educational coaching provision is available, and holistic program management support from our specialist teams. So yeah, there is no limit for our creativity, growth and potential. Over to you, Liz.
Thank you. So one of the things that really resonates with us, and I mentioned it before, is our leadership principles. They essentially enable us to grow at the pace that we have done. And they focus on 2 things, which is around culture and innovation. It's around how we hire people across all levels in Amazon, and also how we evaluate success. So when you are in the business, what we look for is evidence to show how you exhibit the leadership principles as you go through your career with Amazon. So one of the things that I sort of wanted to share today was have a think about the leadership principles that I'm just going to go through, how they resonate with you, and have a think about which leadership principles you may want to share as we go through the recruitment process. A little sort of tip is they will be part of our recruitment process this year. As Amazonians, we hold ourselves accountable for demonstrating them on an ongoing basis. And it really does sort of describe how we do business, how we lead, and how we keep the customers at the centre of everything that we do. So we have 16 of them. I'm going to come on to them now. Just in the chat, Shree, would you just be able to answer Adriana and Mondi's question while I cover the leadership principles, if that's okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. There's a lot of information on here, so please bear with me. We have, as I mentioned, 16 leadership principles. They are reviewed on a regular basis, and it's really important for us that they sort of keep pace with us as a business. Some of these are easier to demonstrate in everyday life than others. But I know when I was looking at joining Amazon, some of the ones that really resonated with me was that customer obsession. Also, ownership is a key leadership principle for everybody in Amazon. We look for people that drive change, drive decisions, and make things happen. Also, learn and be curious, looking at new perspectives, looking at new ways of doing things. It breeds innovation, and it encourages us to constantly look to move forward. And earning trust as well was another one that really resonated with me in terms of being open to feedback, being respectful of other people's decisions, dealing with people and sort of not being this sort of, large company that doesn't listen. It's around thinking about what you can do to make a difference within your team and the teams that you deal with. And then part of that is also thinking about trust as well. So how we collaborate across teams and how we build trust and how we continue to deliver the objectives that we set ourselves and agree to. Ultimately, one of the founding principles, and somebody, well, I think a few people mentioned Jeff Bezos in the chat when I was talking earlier around what do you think of when you think of Amazon? A founding principle for us is working backwards from the customer, and I think dependent upon the role that you do within Amazon, each of us have different customers. For me, you guys are my customer in terms of making sure that you have a brilliant selection, recruitment and onboarding experience with Amazon into the apprenticeship program. But it's really putting our customers at the centre of everything that we do. When we also think around what makes somebody a success in Amazon, it's also really important to sort of say we celebrate you being you. We have 13 affinity groups, and we're actually in the process of creating an affinity group for apprentices, which is really exciting. And you can be a quiet or an active participant. Have a look at them as a sort of 13. Work out which ones resonate with you in terms of your backgrounds or your interests, where you want to build a wider community. And we recognise that uniqueness is bound by similarities, and that connecting into a network is brilliant, not just in terms of finding out more about yourself, but also finding a great place for you to be yourself in Amazon as a business. Over to you, Shri, just to talk about the programmes that we're going to be doing this year.
So we will be hiring into two types of programs, degree programs and non-degree programs, as you can see in the list here. So on the left-hand side, you can see the advanced learning programs, which are not degree programs. So they are from level 2 to level 5. And on the right-hand side, they are the degree programs, which are mainly level 6 and some level 7. Please refer back to our website for program specific. So we will share the website address later on. So go and visit our website and see more about these programs. All you require to have is the right to work in the UK. Have a background in English and maths and have lived in the UK as a resident for last 3 years. So these are the specific eligibility criteria that you need to meet in order to be eligible to go on the apprenticeship. As you can see, the schemes are of different lengths and therefore require dedicated time and commitment, as well as a desire to succeed. You will emerge from all of these with additional qualifications, work experience, and for some courses, you will have a degree as well. So like a BSc or similar things. You will be based in our various sites, which include delivery stations, fulfillment centers, or corporate offices, dependent upon the program you undertake and will receive on-the-job support. Regardless where you are based, you will still receive that on-the-job support, the aligned training from our specialist partners, and the coaching from our dedicated team of program managers who are course and business area aligned. As this is a general introduction to apprenticeships at Amazon, we don't have time to cover each of these schemes individually today. I would encourage you to attend the course-specific webinars that you will find links to on our website and secure yourself a ticket if you haven't already done so you can discover more about these schemes separately. These will follow a similar format to today, but will outline each course and you will hear from current apprentices on those schemes. their program managers, and the apprentices line managers as well in most cases. This will be a great opportunity to really learn more about specifics, what to expect, what you will need to succeed, and why to choose one program over another based on your ambitions, your attitude, and your aptitude. Or, as this is a specific overview of our career changes, I'm now going to hand over to talk about more. Sorry, I'm going to talk more about the career changes. So, if we can go to the next slide, as you can see there. This slide will discuss the type of person who would be suitable for our programs, what personality traits we are looking for, etc. And what we need actually is somebody who is going to work towards a qualification. Degree level for those who have done an A level would be looking for 3 to 4 years of apprenticeship, because as you can see from the previous slide, we have a longer apprenticeship for the degrees. If you are not going to do a degree, then you will be working towards something like a BTech or a A-level equivalent. We want people who have a passion for learning new skills mainly. Whether you are working in any industry, it doesn't matter. If you have a passion for learning new skills, this program is for you. 20% of your time will be spent in learning capacity and 80% will be on the job. What I'm going to suggest to you, if you go on our website, under our programs page, there is a survey or a quiz that you can do, which will also show you, based on the questions that you answer, based on your interests, what kind of apprenticeships are more suitable for you. So as you can see on the slide here, under our programs, this is where you can see that survey or the quiz on our website. So I would recommend you do that to gain a bit more understanding about what kind of programs are suitable for you. However, what you need to remember is apprenticeship programs are not easy. It's hard to balance the need of your job and the studies. You need to be prepared to work hard and have a huge desire to succeed. For career changes, if you have worked in another industry for many years and you have, it was a long time ago that you have done education, sometimes it is difficult for those people to go back to doing the studies and managing the assignments, etc. as well. So please take that into consideration as well. Generally, the people who fail the apprenticeships are those that don't put the effort in it. It's not down to the ability, but it is down to the attitude. So make sure that you have the right attitude to do the apprenticeship. Amazon pays you to have the qualification, so you don't have to pay for the qualification. Whatever the duration is, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that's the experience that you are going to get, the salary that you are going to get, and importantly, you are not going to have the debt. So I think this is the ideal way if you always wanted to learn something, but you couldn't afford to leave the job that you were doing. So this is the right way or the opportunity. Our aim, if everyone who completes an apprenticeship program, we aim to have them or support them to stay in Amazon wherever possible. And you can hear from Lee later on how we kind of help and support in that. So yeah, have a think about how our leadership principles resonate with you and take that quiz that I said to you earlier, which will help you to distill down what programs may be interest to you and take the next step of applying to apprenticeships if it's still is what you want to do. So, so what are we looking for? As I said to you earlier, aptitude, attitude, and the ambition are the main things that we look for. Remember, your 20% of your working time will be spent in learning, 80% on the job. You are going to get if you are successful, you are going to get the experience working in Amazon, and you are going to work towards the qualification. This apprenticeship also we think is more suitable for the people who learn by doing. Apprenticeships are great for that kind of people, but any person can come on the apprenticeship. So yeah, if you are happy and ready to work hard to balance the need of your job and the studies, and if you are ready for that new challenge, then these kind of the route into Amazon is ideal for you. So yeah, over to you, Liz.
Thanks, Sri. Sorry, I've got a bit of frog in my throat. So, there's been some brilliant questions in the chat. Thank you. I think a lot of them are sort of focused on probably what I'm going to talk to next in terms of what the application and assessment process is for 2023. So keep the questions coming, and please be patient. We can answer any that don't get covered at the end of the session. Okay, so we have built the 2023 application and assessment process to focus on what you can do and areas of interest, and give you an opportunity to succeed. We have tried to make it as simple and as straightforward as possible. Our programme applications open, and I think I put it in the chat, so it is a date diary on the 6th of Feb. That is the Monday of National Apprenticeship Week. So if you are interested, pop it in the diary, log on to the website, and you will be able to follow the links to apply. We will ask you to share a CV and answer some initial eligibility questions, and just sort of complete a short assessment in terms of what you're interested in, and you will then move forward into the next stage as long as you fulfill the eligibility questions. So we are doing all of our assessments virtually again this year, just to make sure that if you don't live local to an Amazon site or an Amazon corporate site, that you have an opportunity to apply that isn't essentially going to cost you exorbitant travel prices, especially when I look at the trains from Manchester to London these days. So we will be running online evaluations using a video platform, and essentially you will be asked 3 questions, and you will be given 3 opportunities to complete that. So if you don't like what you said the first time, you will be able to re-record up until 3 times. That should take you about 15 minutes, so hopefully nothing too onerous. For a couple of the schemes where we just need to assess sort of where you are in terms of your knowledge levels, there will be a short coding test. So specifically for some of the software development, although this does apply to a couple of the engineering courses as well. It's not necessarily, if you don't do particularly well on this, then you wouldn't be eligible to move on to the next stage. Again, it's just to sort of gauge where you are in the process of knowing a software language, etc. You would then move forward into a virtual assessment centre. These will include group exercises. We will ask you to prepare a short presentation, again on a topic of your choice, to allow you to showcase to us what you know, what you feel passionate about. We will ask you to take part in a group task, and then you will have an opportunity to go and meet some of the hiring managers who you potentially could be working with if you are successful in your apprenticeship application. It's very much a 2-way process. We see it as quite succinct, but it's in depth as well. And it's really important, I think, that you take the time on the website to look at the different programs, understand what you're interested in, understand what you're good at, and where that aptitude could take you in terms of fulfilling your ambition. We will be giving you feedback within a very short period of time after your assessment centre as well. So you're not going to be in a situation where you're going to be waiting weeks to find out whether you have been successful or not. So I'm hopeful that it will be an enjoyable process, or as enjoyable as we can make it, and that there will be loads of opportunities for you to make sure that, you know, we're the right organisation to fit your ambitions as an apprentice. So just in terms of where you are now, I think we're hoping that you're thinking, not should I join Amazon, but how do I apply, and which is the right scheme for me? As I mentioned, we're opening on the 6th of Feb. We have refreshed our website for 2023. There's loads of information in there. On our programs tab, there are loads of information and opportunities to hear from our current apprenticeships or apprentices, as well as learning about our apprenticeship opportunities. There are frequently asked questions in there as well, and tips for success. So a definite site where you should be spending time, ideally before the 6th of February. There is the QR code here that will take you directly to it. We also will be looking at applications as they come through. So it's really important not to think, well, they open on the 6th of Feb, but, you know, I'll leave it till March to apply. We will start evaluating applications pretty much as soon as they arrive with us. While we want to find the best people and the right people, we're also mindful that we want to push people through the process. We don't want it to take weeks at a time and sort of waste anybody's time. So also to consider, if you do need any specialist support, we have a team aligned to talk you through any reasonable adjustments that you might need us to make to ensure that you have an opportunity at success as part of the recruitment process. So we do have an ACAT team there to support you as well. And if there are additional questions, please drop us a note through to Apprenticeships at Amazon, and we will try and answer those as quickly as we can. But I would also say, if you do believe that you're going to need a little bit more support, just ask and contact ACAT as well. And their details are also on the website too. So I think you've probably tired of listening to my voice and Shree's voice. It's over to our panel. I'm just going to check and see if we have got a list of some of the questions that potentially haven't been answered as part of the chat. So just bear with me for 1 second.
I just want to say as well, I'm unable to use the chat, so I tried answering a couple of questions, but nothing was posting. I can't remember a lot of them now, but I do remember Umar, 16-year-old. What I would just say is do what you can over the next 2 years to get some experience to evidence their leadership principles, so that when you do come to apply in 2 years' time or just before, you're a really strong candidate.
Brilliant, thank you for that. Okay, so just in terms of questions that we have had through, I'm going to ask this question to Cecilia, if that's okay. So one of the questions that's come through is, what commitments do I need to make once I join Amazon as an apprentice?
I'd say the main commitment will be to your learning. It's at first you have about a month of onboarding. Spend that time to understand how Amazon works as a business and how that kind of feeds into your apprenticeship. The most important thing as an apprentice is your learning for your qualification. So you do get that 1 day off a week, which is super useful, and just keep that line open with your manager. And I'd say that's the most important thing, the learning as an apprentice.
Fantastic, thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add on top of that from Cecilia, or?
No, I think yeah, I'd echo that completely. It's just really important that you make sure you safety net or secure that day or 20% for your apprenticeship. It can be really easy to think that you should focus on just your job and not take what feels like a day off to study. But it's really important that you maintain that commitment, because the more you learn on your apprenticeship, the more you can apply that to your job anyway. So yeah.
100%. Yeah, it shows in your results as well. So those of us that have had that full day to dedicate completely to their apprenticeship, they seem to do better in the course overall than those who haven't had much time or don't dedicate the time. So it is really important.
Great.
There is a question for Lee in the chat. Lee, I'm in a similar position to where you were and changing career direction. How has the transition been, and how did you decide which apprenticeship to do?
Yeah, sure. So the transition initially, I won't lie, it was tricky for me. I was an experienced physio, senior physio, and then I'd gone into something that was completely new to me in a corporate world, which was completely new to me. So it took a bit of time to adjust, but the pace of the job and the apprenticeship was appropriate, so that it was never overwhelming, and it gave me time to ramp up. Yeah, I'm so glad I did it as well. So I think when you're in those initial stages of going from one career to another and making that change, it can be easy to think, well, I was very good at this and now I'm very new at this, and it's not really a fair comparison. So I think you just have to give yourself time to make that adjustment. And why I decided, I think it was why did I decide to do project management? I think it was because you can apply that to so many things. Project management is in so many different parts of Amazon and other careers. But on a personal level, I suppose, and project managers will hate me saying this, but in my mind, it's like just making lists and crossing things off and making sure things get done. That applies to me and my nature. So I felt that was probably a good one for me to take.
You definitely have to be a completer finisher.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Shri, I've got a question just in the chat here from Priyanka. If it's a career break of 10, I've had a career break of 10 years and want to restart back. Will Amazon apprenticeships be helpful to me?
Yes, if you satisfy the eligibility criteria, then the 10-year break doesn't really bother. So you can still be eligible for an apprenticeship, provided you don't have any qualifications that are similar or higher level to the apprenticeship you want to do.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. And then I think also just a quick question for you, Shri. If you already have a degree in an unrelated subject, what level apprenticeship should I do from L? I think that is.
Yeah, I just pasted as dropped a reply there. Yeah, you can still do an apprenticeship, whatever you want to do, provided your other degree is not in the same subject and you don't have work experience of more than 1 year in that subject that you want to do apprenticeship in. So anything really, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a question to all of the apprentices. So, why did you choose to do an apprenticeship with Amazon for Nicola, Lee and Cecilia? I'll ask Nicola first, actually, if that's okay.
Yeah. For me, I was looking for a career change. My other half already works at Amazon, gave it a glowing review. So I started to look at jobs on Amazon first. I realised that having a complete career change, even though I have a degree, sometimes they need the experience in that field.
Yeah.
So when I saw the apprenticeship, I thought, oh, perfect. At the time, there were two options. I think there was a level 3 CIP apprenticeship and a level 5. And because I had the higher qualifications, I went for the higher level. And it just gives you more opportunities down the line. So yeah, first I looked for the career change, found the apprenticeship, and then decided to do it with Amazon because I went back, did a load of research, looked at other apprenticeships. They weren't offering anywhere near the same salary. They weren't offering the same level of experience. And yeah, eventually it came down to cost and convenience and the sort of opportunities at the end for me.
Brilliant. Lee?
Yeah, similar to Nicola actually. My brother works at Amazon, so I had I had an inside understanding of some of the things that were going on at Amazon. But yeah, aside from that, Amazon is just such an impressive company, and it's so big. And to my mind, there were just so many opportunities. And where I felt slightly trapped in my existing career as a physio and what options I had, I felt that whatever I started with at Amazon, there were always going to be different routes and different opportunities that I could
Yeah.
take once I got the experience. So that was really attractive to me, and just the way that Amazon was expanding and so impressive with so many things that they were doing and trying. The salary as well, though, was definitely a winner for me. It was an opportunity to have a career change and relearn and start something again and gain all these new skills without having to go right back to the bottom. So having worked in the NHS for a decade, I was at a certain level. It was only a very slight drop that I had to take. So without that opportunity, having a mortgage, a young family, I don't know that I would have been able to do it anywhere else. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I was able to take this opportunity with what Amazon were offering.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cecilia?
Mine's definitely a bit of a different story. I don't have any family in Amazon. So I came out of school and thought I wanted to go to university, but I went and realised it wasn't for me. So then I extended that to a gap year and kind of spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to do. I saw an advert on the TV, I think, for Amazon Apprenticeships.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, this looks perfect. And then I started looking into large companies for different apprenticeships. I knew I wanted to do something quite data related and quite numbers focused because that's where a lot of my strengths lie. So I was kind of a bit wobbly about what I wanted to do. And then I found all of these. And yeah, on the note of salary, it was very good. It definitely helps me feel the ethos of Amazon always feels very welcoming. Even though I'm quite young compared to a lot of people, it's very open and people are super friendly.
I think what's really nice as well, I think all three of you have touched on salary, is because of sort of where we reside in the market, your income isn't affected by your desire to go on and continue to learn. And I think that that's really nice, actually, that, continuing to learn to do something that you've sort of almost started, or continuing to do something completely different, as a career breaker or a career changer, you're not sort of sacrificing income to continue that learning journey. And I think that that's a really great thing about apprenticeships in general, and certainly the Amazon ones. So yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we're nearly at time. Thank you for everybody's questions in the chat box. It's been really great to see them. If you do have specific questions, a lot of the ones that are on there will be answered on the website. We've done a lot of work in terms of sort of refreshing the content for 2023. In each of the programmes overviews, there is an eligibility criteria matrix. So I would definitely take the time to read those to make sure that you're not applying for schemes that, if you don't have the basic criteria that are part of the apprenticeship government standards. So this is nothing to do with Amazon. This applies and is an overview from the government. Just bear those in mind, really, because there are, GCSE and A-level sort of gateway programs, which is really important to think about. Shri, are there any closing remarks from you guys, or from Nicola or Lee or Cecilia?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any questions about HR in particular, but I'm happy to give my details out if they want any specifics.
I
That's
would
brilliant.
suggest people contact us on the apprenticeship email, apprenticeships@amazon.co.uk or apprenticeships@amazon.com, and we will try to answer any questions that you can't get answers on our website.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. We just wanted to finish with a lovely graduation photo. So we know that the guys that have taken part in our Q&A will be heading into that auditorium to celebrate their graduations, and we hope that we have ignited some interest in everybody that's joined us today about career changer apprenticeships at Amazon. So huge thank you to you all for your time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.